Afternoon. Welcome to our live stream. I'm Jen from English with Jen, here every Wednesday to offer you a complete, at least 1 hour's worth of English. We'll learn vocabulary, idioms, phrasal verbs, conversation questions, and all based this week on the topic Christmas folklore. So welcome to everyone who's able to join today. If you are watching this replay and you're like, who on earth is this human? Well, I'm Jen. You can see it floating down here. English with Jen 123. Hey, Alessio, dear. And I come from the United States and I live in Germany and I teach English. I struggle with the teach English. I think I offer people who want to learn English the opportunity to practice their English. So it's our little nest here. There are not very many of us, but it's a nice group, so welcome on board. And so every week, like I said, we have a new topic, and the topic this week is very nice. It's Christmas folklore, so stories that go from different cultures. We had yesterday several ones that went from all the way from Italy and worked its way up to Sweden, and by the time it ended up in Sweden, it was something completely different. So hello, Serena. Hello. Ciao e tutti to you. Hey, Kaluna. Nice to have you here. As always, not seeing you. I think like last week, maybe you are not here, I want to say. I don't know. Does anybody know where Leah is? She had something happen to her and I cannot find her on Instagram. So if somebody can tell me, hey, Gracie, dear, then that would be great. Also, while I have you here for a second, and we're waiting a little bit for more people to be able to come into our lesson. Next week, I will offer on Iwa and on our live stream on Wednesday, I will offer the topic Christmas traditions. So if you have a special tradition that you would like to share on Iwa, like I want to add like 6 different people. I'll use my little thingy, my little rabbit guy timer. Hey, Yelena will be one of the people that's going to go live with me next week. I wasn't able to attend yesterday's class. No stress. So if you would like to share with me one tradition that you have in your family, in your culture, a tradition is something that you do every year. Maybe it's a certain dish you eat, maybe it's a way that you celebrate Christmas, then I would love to collect some people that will have some quality things to say. Sometimes when I add people and we go live, it's kind of all over the place. So I want it to be really I want to have a couple of people like from my regulars, that if you would like to share something special that you do, then you have that opportunity. And if not, then not. And I will see, maybe I can get some of my teacher friends to come and share some traditions from their cultures. Today, I only have my mobile. I hope I'll be able to see enough. I can read things 2, 3 times, Serena, no worries. So you let me know if you can't see something properly. Hello, Karina, welcome to you, dear. All right, so let's hop into our first question of the day. I hope that you're all happy and well. Today is beautiful here in Hamburg. It's sunny and gorgeous. I've been on my bike running last minute errands to finish Christmas. It's called Weihnachten here in Germany, and Weinen. Weinen is to cry. For me, sometimes Weihnachten, Christmas feels like Weihnachten, so the evening to cry. There's so much to do. Anyway, I digress. Here's our first question of the day. What traditions do you know that are believed to bring good fortune? In northern Italy, it's raining. Oh, what's the temperature, Lorena? So what traditions would you say do you know that are believed to bring good fortune? Because the first story that we're going into is one that's kind of like a good fortune kind of thing, like a good luck kind of thing. Can you think of anything that brings good luck, just as a nice little warm-up question? And then we'll go into some vocabularies and the story of what we're talking about. We're heading to the Ukraine. We're heading to Ukraine for our next story. having a little feast like food on the table to be shared by the family, right? And a lot of people have things that they eat every single year. Ooh, 8 degrees. It's not so cold. It sounds cold. 3 degrees in Toronto. Really? Oh my gosh. Oh, sweetie. When a bird enters your house, is that a good thing or a bad thing, Gracie? That's good luck, I guess, because we did say good luck. When a bird enters your house, it's good luck. Okay. I freak out. I'm like, I gotta get this bird out. Okay. All right. Any other ideas about things that can bring good luck? Any sorts of traditions that you know of? Any sorts of things? Otherwise, we will hop into our first slide today, which is going to offer us 5 vocabulary words. And maybe what you can do in this case, because I think it's interesting to get a feeling for what words are new and not. I always aim to have several words that we repeat just to keep our vocabulary fresh. And I always try to offer at least 2 or 3 new words in an exercise. We used to cook a delicious dinner on December 24th to share with family at night. And after we receive gifts. So when you say you used to, then do you mean that you are used to doing that? Like that's something you typically do? Or is that something you used to do? Like no longer. Eat 12 grapes after midnight on the 24th. Okay. A bird is always good luck. Okay. Yeah, even when they poop on you, we say that. Like if a bird poops on you, it's supposed to be good luck. And I've never understood that. And when I've been pooped on, it never felt like good luck, but okay. There is a superstition when you see a chimney sweep and touch a button. Really? A button, like a button on a shirt or something. Hello, Natalia, darling. Welcome, welcome. A little horn is considered to bring good luck. Yeah, so I think that's a very Italian thing, Alessio, right? I've seen like Italian people wear like a little golden horn. Do you have any idea where that comes from? If not, we can take a quick look because I'm curious. And that's a very Italian thing for me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Spanish too, I don't know. Attend church with the whole family. That's a nice thing to do as well. All right, so I'm going to throw up some vocabulary words. If you could be so kind when we read through the list, if you could let me know how many of these are new, that would be awesome. Just so then, I think I have to go to there. Yes, I guessed right. Yes, let's see. So to meet a person with a full bucket, is good luck. Okay, so full bucket, it doesn't matter if it's water, milk, or beer, I guess. A full bucket. A silver spoon, so you're supposed to give it to a new baby. Okay. So is that maybe to give them wealth, to offer them wealth, maybe to have it, because we have the expression, the idiom, he was born, like to have born with a silver spoon, meaning that they were born into a wealthy family. Born with a silver spoon. Eating lentils during New Year's celebration. Absolutely. Okay, so we have our vocabulary words up here. We have widow, adorn, brighten, miraculous, and prosperity. And our definitions, I hope you can see these. And I think that it was Serena who said, you can't see very well today because you're on your phone. I'm not able to hear you anymore. Oh. Can everybody else, can you hear me? Everything good? Can I get a thumbs up? I hope you can hear me. Alessia, I hope that your problem got resolved. I don't know. I touched the microphone, but maybe I turned it off. Can you hear me? Let's see. I have to click it. Hello? Yes. Oh, hey, Juan Carlos. Hello, Carmen. Hello. I can hear you. So, Alessio, hold on. Maybe I should write. Hop out and hop back in, maybe. So, Alessio. Oop, I'm on all caps. Sorry about that. Hop out and back and come back. Oops. All right. Thanks, guys, for your heads up. I appreciate that. Okay, now you're here. Okay, good. I'm on the phone and I can see fine. Ooh, awesome. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so Matching our things, I see people already guessing. A, amazing or unexplainable. B, a woman whose husband has died. C, to make something more beautiful or attractive. D, wealth, success, or good fortune. And E, to make cheerful, lighter, or more enjoyable. So what can you tell me works the best with widow? So we eat 12 grapes on the new year for good luck, to receive the new year, and my family and I take a flower shower before going to the New Year's party. What's a flower shower? That sounds so cool. All right, Yelena saying B, Kaluna saying B. I think that somebody else above, Gracie said B. Serena says B, Lorena's going with B, Alessia's going with B. So, okay, widow. Widow, not window, widow. B is a woman whose husband has died. Exactly, is a widow. Number 2, adorn. Exactly, Natalia. Adorn. To adorn something. Can be, yeah. What can you tell me? When I get a new chair for my office, I have to get something that doesn't swivel because I have to sit here like a little girl. It's annoying, I think. All right, Kaluna, Gracie, Lorena, Yelena, Serena, and anybody else saying C? Because you're all, Natalia, you're all saying C, exactly. To adorn is C. To make something more beautiful or attractive. Exactly, Alessio. 1's B, 2 is C, 3, brighten, to brighten something. What can you tell me for number 3? And are any of these words new? So I hope some of them are and not just refresher words. So Kaluna's going with E, and Gracie, Lorena. Anyone else? All right, so Alessio, so Serena, so everyone's saying 3 is E, Yelena 2, Karina as well. So, okay, Brighton, Natalia. So Brighton 3 is E, to make cheerful, lighter, and more enjoyable. So you can say, I would like to brighten his day. I'm going to bake him some cookies to brighten his day, to make things nicer, to make things happier and more enjoyable. So number 4, miraculous. Miraculous. That's a long word. Miraculous. 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 Lorena says A. Alessio, Kuluna, Serena. So it feels like this is very much a repeater. Miraculous. Okay, 4 is A. Exactly. Everyone has guessed A, so you're all correct. Amazing or unexplainable. It was a miraculous discovery. It was miraculous that I found my glasses because I lose them all the time. Hello to you, Lazar. Welcome. I hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so last but not least, prosperity. We have prosperity. So 1 was B, 2 was C, 3 was E, 4 is A. So then prosperity is highly likely to be, yes, Lorena. Yes, exactly. Kaluda and Yelena. So 5, prosperity is D. Yes, Juan Carlos. So wealth, success, and good fortune. Prosperity. So a lot of times you'll hear people wish for prosperity when we have the new year. I'm wishing you a prosperous 2026, something along those lines, meaning successful and wealthy, that you have a lot of wealth and that kind of thing. All right. So these are our words: widow, adorn, oops, hold on, I'm gonna go down here. Brighten, miraculous, and prosperity. These are our vocab words, and now we'll listen to a story. I have a story to read for you. This is heading to the Ukraine. And it's called the Ukraine Spiderweb Christmas Tree. And I think that it was Gracie, I want to say Gracie and Alessio, that asked me for the stories. I will put these together, the ones from yesterday and the ones from today, and you can have them. If anybody else would like to have these stories, just send me a quick DM on Instagram, and I would love to get them to you. I'm going to work on the first one a little bit from yesterday. The first two were a little strange in the wording, so I need to fix those. But I will get them together and then send them to you. All right, so here's our story. Ukraine, we're heading to the Ukraine, and the spider web Christmas tree. Here we go. According to an old legend, a poor widow and her children found a Christmas tree in their garden, but couldn't afford to adorn it. The children were sad and they could not make it beautiful. So their mother hung some fruits and nuts on the tree, hoping it would brighten their Christmas morning. When they woke up the next day, the tree was covered by a spider's web, which had turned into silver and gold in the morning light. In tradition of this miraculous event, Ukrainians hang spiderweb-shaped decorations on their Christmas trees. It is believed that doing so brings prosperity and good fortune to the family throughout the year. So that's our story. Terry, I don't think that Terry's in our audience today, but I think he's from the Ukraine, from Ukraine. I'm losing it. From the Ukraine. So he could tell us if this is true or not. How much of the story, folks, did you understand? What can you tell me? How much did you understand? So sweet, right? Isn't it precious? And maybe if you want to tell me about the story, you can do that. You can either give me a percentage of how much you understood, things that you have questions with, 99%. My daughter, of course, is calling me. I'm going to just, sorry, Belle. Okay, 100%. Oh, cool, guys. Okay, 99. If you understood less, no stress, we're going over it. So less, no stress, nice little rhyme. 90% Kaluna says. If you want to tell me things, 92, very specific, number one, Carlos. So maybe you can tell me anything that you would like. And 90%, okay. And let's see. So 80%, okay. So maybe you can tell me a little bit of the story and we can piece it kind of together. I'll ask you a couple of questions. How about that? So what does the widow do? Or what did the widow and her children find? And what is the problem? What did the children and widow find in their garden? And what is the problem? And how do they solve it? So 3 questions. What did they find? And how did they solve it? Where do they find it? So different ones. It's about a widow and her daughter who couldn't afford to adorn of the Christmas tree. Okay, so in this case, sweetie, you would say it's about a widow and her daughter who couldn't afford to adorn the Christmas tree. So she hung fruit on it. Exactly. Spider web, what's that? Super question. So spiders, they have little silk threads that come out of them, right? And then it all links together, and that's what they hang in the spider web and they catch their food. It's the beautiful intricate patterns that they create that end up being their homes. A widow is a person who has lost their husband or wife. It's a neutral word. A widow can be a man, it can be a woman. A tree, yes, exactly. So they found a tree, they put some fruits and nuts on it to make it more cheerful to look at. Exactly. Yeah. And thank you, Lorena. You know, all of you, please, if you have questions, you're more than welcome to always ask. Thanks. Okay, so thanks, or spider. So the spider is not the widow. I don't know. There's a woman She's a widow. She's very poor. And her children, that they find this tree in the yard. The following day, spider webs were found in the tree made of silver and gold. Exactly. The light from the window shone onto the spider webs, and it looked beautiful, silver and golden, bringing them wealth. I'm not sure what that is. No caller ID. I don't know who's calling me. My daughter just tried to call me. I'm just going to take this really quickly. Sorry. Hello? Yeah? Ja. Oh, yes, genau. Ja? Okay. Ja. Viel zu viel, okay. 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 That's fine. Okay. Okay. Mhm. Ja. Okay. Perfect. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Okay, klingt gut. Okay, ich bedanke mich sehr. Schönen Tag. Danke. Tschüss. Sorry. I had to answer that because I was a little bit worried because my daughter was trying to call me and then I had a no caller ID, but my doctor just let me know what my blood results look like. So, okay. Anyway, sorry. All right. So let's see what you have to say. Sorry. The following day, the spider webs, that was that, bringing him. She adorned the tree with nuts and apples, but in the morning they found an adorned tree with gold and silver spider webs. Exactly. Oops, hold on. They find a Christmas tree. They hang up some fruit on it. So the tradition of, what is that? Acronia, like with something with spiders, is to brighten the tree with webs to get prosperity. Exactly, to become prosperous. So in Mexico, we have spiders that we call widows. You know what? Juan Carlos, we do too. In the States, there's a spider called a black widow. Very, very, very dangerous. Du sprichst Deutsch wie... Du sprichst auch Deutsch. Ich spreche so, ja, es ist lustig. Anyway, lustig. So that's funny, Serena. So sorry, folks, about that. Yeah, I got a little freaked out with my daughter calling. Okay, yeah, that's it, right? There's very, very, we have that same one called the Black Widow. All right, so let's read the story again. Just since all of you really gotten it very well, but just to kind of relax and to go through it again, and then we'll take a look at some phrasal verbs related to the story. All right, here we go. We have, according to an old legend, a poor widow and her children found a Christmas tree in their garden, but couldn't afford to adorn it. Her children were sad and they could not make it beautiful. So their mother hung some fruits and nuts on the tree, hoping it would brighten their Christmas morning. When they woke up the next day, the tree was covered by a spider's web, which had turned into silver and gold in the morning light. In tradition of this miraculous event, Ukrainians hang spider web-shaped decorations on their trees. It is believed that doing so brings prosperity and good fortune to the family throughout the year. So, all right. So that is our story, and I think this is a nice one. It was really, really hard to find stories that were not scary. This was one of the only nice ones. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. We're going to take a look here at phrasal verbs related to the story, and I've put them into sentences, so we won't learn them as sort of definitions. We'll see them already used in context. So let me hop over to the other side of the screen so that you can see this. And let me get rid of this. Excuse me. All right, so there we go. So we have our phrasal verbs here, and they are pass down, bring about, turn into, and hang up. So we have the first sentence, the mother, fruits and nuts on the Christmas tree to make her children happy. And if you want, as extra credit here, you can add them into the correct tense. So sometimes they're in the right tense and sometimes you need to change them. The mother, fruits and nuts on the Christmas tree to make her children happy. What can you tell me? And I hope that this story was easier this time around. So hung up, exactly. Hung up is good. Hung up is really good. Exactly. Karina, Yelena, exactly. So we hang up ornaments on our Christmas tree. Or yesterday, I hung the ornaments on my Christmas tree. So Peter yesterday, he finished his side of our Christmas tree. He hung up ornaments on the tree. Number 2, when the children woke up, the spider's web had and silver and gold in the morning light. So what do you think? When the children woke up, the spider's web had silver and gold in the morning light. Turn into from Karina. What else have we got? Turn into, hey, Renee, dear, nice to have you here. Turn into, question mark? Yeah, exactly. So in this case, if you want to do it properly, go with Renee, go with Lorena, turned into. This is a little extra credit thing. So when the children woke up, the spider's web had turned into silver and gold in the morning light. And in this case, Serena, passed down doesn't work so much. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Number 3, small acts of kindness can sometimes a miraculous event. What can you tell me? Small acts of kindness can a miraculous event. Bring about, Renit's going with, bring about. Anybody else have a bring about for me or something different? Excuse me. Yes, okay, exactly. Okay, bring about, sounds good. All right, so here we go. So small acts of kindness can sometimes bring about a miraculous event. And I definitely think so. I think it's a truth. That sentence is pretty truthful. All right, number 4, this legend has been through Ukrainian families for generations. Passed down, exactly, and exactly right, passed down. And in this case, Serena, you had a question mark earlier. When we pass something down, it goes from one person to the next, or one generation to the next, or from something, it starts from somewhere and it gets handed down to someone else, and so on, passed down, exactly. Okay. So we are heading on to a new story, okay? So this is another little creepy Christmas story. I don't know, you have to tell me. So I'm going to show you a picture of what this Christmas story is about. And I've already said too much, so like usual. So here we go, and you can tell me what you think. You got it? Yeah, no stress. So you can tell me what you think that this is about. So, all right, this is our next one. This happens to be in Iceland. They are called Yule Lads and Yule Cat and Girla. So what do you think this is about? Any ideas what on earth this story is going to tell us? What do you think? So, okay, we see dwarfs, exactly, cool. So you can also just do that. Let's just brainstorm. Anything that you see that you could think about where we're headed next with this next story. The Yule Lads and the Yule Cat and Gila, or Grilla, I have no idea how to say this. That guys look, those guys look drunk. They do. They totally look drunk. So we have some drunk looking dwarves. Anybody else have a way of describing this? Other than drunk looking dwarves? Do you see anything else in this whole thing here? If not, then I will go ahead and offer you some vocabulary, and then we will read the story. And I would imagine that a lot of these vocabulary words are going to be new. So let's see. So do you call them? Oh, how do you call them? So they're called Yule, which is like festive. You'll hear that word too, Yuki. Yesterday you had a word, mistletoe, that you hear a lot in Christmas songs. And you'll hear Yuletide greetings and Yule something or other. This is sort of festive. And so, all right. And we often use this during the Christmas time. Yule lads. Lads meaning boy. Yule cat. So dwarf is going to design the whole city with Christmas feeling. Ooh, I like that. Tell you said after the holidays. Yeah, that's kind of actually how I feel right now, to be quite honest. Yeah, so let's see. Dwarfs are going to, that was that. Okay. And Bianca Neves. Sorry. Bianca Neves, new friends. Let's see. Is it Yuletide? Yuletide is more like Yuletide, like a feeling. I'm actually not, but Yule it's an old German word, I think, that moved up through Scandinavia. And it's this winter time when we have the solstice, when we have these sorts of things. Snow White. Yes, it does look very much like Snow White. Good point. It looks a lot like Snow White. I wonder if the brothers Grimm were inspired by this story. Anyway, so all right. So these are these guys. These are the Yule lads, the Yule cat. You see the little black cat on the guy's hand. I had to cut a couple of them off because the picture was too long. So yes. All right. Let's do this. I'm coming back here, and here is our story. All right. So Girla. Oh, sorry. We need our vocab. Excuse me, I'm jumping the gun, because I do think there will be some new vocab words in here, so it really is important for us to go over that first. Let's see, where are we? Slide number 4. Okay, and I will hop over here and there. Okay, so our first word is ogre. Ogre. To emerge. Emerge. 3, stew. 4, troll. 5, mischief. And 6, wrath. Here are our definitions. A big, scary creature in stories. B, anger or punishment. C, a small magical creature that can be naughty. D, to come out or appear. E, naughty or playful trouble. F, a thick soup with meat and vegetables. All right. So what can you tell me? What one works best with ogre? And probably a lot of you know this word. If you've ever watched Shrek in English, then you know this. So what is an ogre? Number 1. Which one works best with that? With number 1, ogre. Number 1, ogre. Okay, so Yelena's guessing A, Lorena's guessing A, Gracie's going with A. Juan Carlos, we've got an A. Exactly, folks. So if you've ever seen Shrek, Shrek is an ogre. So a big scary creature in stories. So yeah, so there was an ogre. Okay, number 2. What have we got for number 2? Hey, Atoko, darling, you were able to make it. So yeah, you're getting used to the late nights again. Nice. So Kaluna's going with D. All right. Number 2, she's saying is D. Number 1 was A, for those of you who are just joining. Ogre is a big scary creature, and we have the word emerge, number 2. So Kaluna, Yelena, Lorena, Gracie. All right. Natalia as well, going with D. Hitoko too. Okay, cool. So number 2, emerge, D, and we have to come out or appear, right? So like the flowers, they emerge out of the ground slowly in the spring. When something comes out of something, to emerge. Then let's see. All right, so we have number 3 with Gracie saying as F, stew, a stew. Yelena says the same. Ranit and Kaluna. Let's get one more. Lazar's going with F. Okay, cool. So many people were hanging in the whole time. This is so awesome. I love that. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. Hitoko's going with F as well. Exactly. Okay, so stew is a thick soup with meat and vegetables. So in the wintertime, it's wonderful to have a nice stew. You have big chunks of vegetables and different types of meat. It's kind of a thicker soup. A stew. Gracie saying 4, troll is F. Is C. Excuse me. So what can you say? Yelena's saying C. Lorena's going with C. Any other guesses? Lazar's going with E. Okay. Kaluna's going with C. Hey, Mohammed, I didn't know you were here. Ogre is real or is just a folk? Yeah, I think it's a folk figure, let's say. It's just a character in folk stories. I've never seen an ogre. My kids say sometimes I am an ogre, but yeah, that's something we can debate. All right, Hitoko's going with C as well. So yeah, cool. So 4 is C. A troll is a small magical creature that can be naughty. All right, a small magical creature that can be naughty. Ogre sounds scary. It does. It sounds like what it is, I think. So 5, mischief. What can we say with number 5? Mischief. Which one works best with that? 1 is A, 2 is D, 3 is F, 4 is C, and 5. Are you laughing because my kids call me an ogre? So let's see. So Kaluna's saying 5 is E. And what can you say? Any other guesses for mischief? Lorena, Yelena are going with E. Exactly. So 5, exactly, Lazar. 5 is E. Mischief, Renee, exactly E. Naughty or playful, trouble. And so mischief is what someone gets into. And if a person causes a lot of mischief and gets into a lot of things, then they are mischievous. I have a troll in my garden. Cool. So is that because in Germany, they have a lot of trolls. A lot of people put trolls in their garden. Is that a typical Japanese thing, or is that something that you picked up from a trip maybe to Germany or something, Hitoko? And last but not least, wrath. So 1 is A, 2 is D, 3 is F, 4 is C, 5 is E, and 6, wrath is B. Exactly. Anger or punishment. When I think of our Greek gods that we learned about several months ago, mischievous is, I'll finish this thought and move on to that. Sorry, Gracie. So when I think of our Greek gods and they would get so angry and they would cause all kinds of troubles and cause thunderstorms, then they had this extreme anger, and that is wrath, like a very profound anger. So it was a gift from my host family in the US. Okay. Because it's a very German thing. So mischievous, I'll spell it for you. Oops, I don't know what I just did. I don't know what. Somehow I just flew down to the bottom of the screen here. So let me click here. Mischievous. I think I've misspelled this. Yes, and it's not going to let me know. Mischievous. I can barely see. I'm sorry, folks. This is wrong. Hold The spelling of this is funky. I will add it later on. I can't see what I'm typing here. But mischievous is the adjective of a person that causes trouble. The mischievous little boy. I posted a story a couple of days ago on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it, where this little girl was talking about the bad little boy in the classroom. He's probably very mischievous. He probably does a lot of little naughty things. All right, so those are our vocabulary words. We have ogre, emerge, stew, troll, mischief, and wrath. Let's put them into a story. We are now in Iceland. So we're first in Ukraine, and now we are in Iceland. All right, here we go. So Girla was a giant ogre. Girla is a giant ogre who lives in a cave. During Christmas, she emerges to hunt for naughty children, whom she kidnaps and cooks in a giant stew. I kid you not. Girla is accompanied by her 13 unruly troll children, known as the Yule Lads, and the terrifying, I'm going to butcher this, Yolakaturim, or Yule Cat. We're going with Yule Cat because I can't pronounce the other thing. Unlike a cozy Christmas pet, the Yule Cat prowls through towns at night, looking into children's windows and seeking to devour anyone who has been lazy or misbehaved during the year. The only way to avoid his wrath is to receive new clothes for Christmas. Children who did not get any must leave out old clothes and hope they meet the Yule Cat's strict standards. Yes, that's in Iceland. So how much of the story did you understand? There were a lot of different names. This is also always something that kind of throws us off a little bit. We will definitely read it again. We can work through it together. Please give me a percentage and let me know as well what you understood in the story. What can you tell me that was clear for you? What can you tell me? Hello to you, Khulud. 90%, cool, because this was a complicated story, and I realized in reading it there were a lot of other extra vocab words that could have actually been included. This was a pretty hard text, so pat yourself on the back. If you got anything over 75%, you rock. Okay, for those of you who are just joining, we're reading a story, we're going through it, and we will reread it in case you just missed it. So what percentages are you giving me, folks, for understanding the story? Anything that you can tell me about this story, then yeah, you can let me know. 50% no stress, Serena. 70% totally get it. There were a lot of extra vocabulary words, and it was pretty, yeah, lots of new names and things. So we'll go through it. So let's see. Can anybody tell me anything about the story? 50 for Yuki. Yeah, no stress. While I was reading this, I realized this is a pretty tough text. I should have kind of, taken out a couple of words, excuse me. 60, 50, no stress. Okay, let's go through it. So Gracie is saying this. It's about an ogre who emerges from his cave, okay, in this case, and from her cave, to kidnap naughty children and to cook them into stew. Yeah, right? Isn't that a great Christmas story? Oh, I wasn't so attentive about 75 to 85%. No stress. Kind of got lost. Was the ogre the cook? The Yule Cat into a stew? Okay. So the ogre, this giant ogre named Girla, she lives in a cave. And during Christmas, she would leave her cave. She would emerge from her cave to look for naughty children to cook them in a giant stew. And now Girla, she's not alone. No. So she has 13 troll children that are really naughty, and also known as the Yule lads. And she also has the Yule cat. The ogre live in a cave and it frightens kids. Exactly. Children had to wear some new clothes. Exactly. This is the strangest tale. I really don't understand it. So you have then the Yule cat. So the cat that belongs to the trolls and to the ogre, and that cat goes out and makes sure the kids have new clothing. And if they don't, then he might do something naughty to them. So yeah, the ogre cooked children if they didn't have new clothes. So I think the cat got involved. I think the ogre, we have the ogre, we have the Yule lads, and we have the cats, all looking for naughty children. I have no idea what's going on in Iceland that they have so many naughty kids. I have no idea. Exactly, Serena, right? So our blind lady in Italy is kind of nice now. So yeah, it's crazy. And so they have to, and so they try to, the ogre companies were 13 trolls, naughty children, and a cat. Exactly. So yeah, there were 13 unruly troll children. So little children that were trolls, and they would go about and look for naughty kids, and they would try to like find them, and then maybe they would take them and then they would cook them. So yeah, yeah. Sweet, right? And then you had to have, and then there's the part about the new clothes. Yeah, I'd like to listen once more. Absolutely, we'll definitely go through it again, because then there's this story takes on the strange twist where then the kids have to leave out new clothing, or at least have their clothing so that it looks nice, so that the Yule cat is okay with it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any. Who eats naughty children? Kids do. Ah, well, Gayla and her troll children. It's crazy. And honestly, Yuki, this is not the only Christmas story where there was some cannibalism. They have some stories in France and in other places. I kid you not. I could have nightmares from researching this. I thought it was going to be all sweet and innocent and like our little spider in Ukraine. I thought I was going to find so many sweet stories. It's all stuff like Halloween. I kid you not. Anyway, let's read the story again. We've kind of gone through it. And is it a way for the parents to buy clothes for Christmas gifts? Maybe, and get away with it, right? That the kids are excited to get clothes instead of toys. Maybe there's some reverse psychology. I kind of felt bad for parents who could not afford to buy new clothing for their children because, yeah, what do you do? Then your kid is totally panicked. Maybe the clothes were to make children receive clothes as parents. Yeah, Gracie, maybe that was that's what Serena thought too. That maybe then the kids are happy to receive clothing and not toys. Anyway, let's listen to the story again. Girla is a giant ogre who lives in a cave. During Christmas, she emerges to hunt for naughty children whom she kidnaps and cooks in a giant stew. Girla is accompanied by her 13 unruly troll children known as Yule lads. And the terrifying Yule cat. I will not go through that name again. Okay. Unlike a cozy Christmas pet, the Yule cat prowls through the streets at night, looking into children's windows. I mean, that's scary. I think he should go to jail. It seeks to devour, to eat fast anyone who has been lazy or misbehaved during the year. The only way to avoid its wrath is to receive new clothes for Christmas. Children who did not get any must leave out old clothes and hope to meet the Yule cat's strict standards. This is a crazy story. I wish we had some people from Iceland in our community who could tell us what is going on with this. So we just have to kind of make up our minds what we think, that this was a way maybe for the parents to be able to get the kids to be happy about receiving clothing. I don't know. So it's strange. So understanding wise, everybody better this time? Parents were terrorized to buy new clothes for their children. Yeah, I was thinking maybe there was like a lobby by the clothing manufacturers and probably 15 whatever that were like, okay, we're going to sell clothing and then we need to find a way. Okay, let's scare the kids. Let's scare the kids. Let's scare the parents into buying new clothes. That's my thing. I don't know. So did you understand more this time? Was it a little bit better? Let me know percentage-wise how you did this time. And we will move on to some phrasal verbs like we did with the last story. So let me know, and I will slowly pull up our next slide. Okay, let's see. Okay. And whoop. Better, yes. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, oops. So everybody else better or still the same kind of strange? Like I said, if you want to have these stories, for me to send you these stories, not a problem. I would love to do so. I need to create maybe a PDF because it's kind of a pain in the neck to send the last sentence. Of course, of course. So sorry. So children who did not get any new clothes. Okay. So the children who did not get any must leave out old clothes and hope they meet the Yule Cat's strict standards. So the Yule Cat was looking for children to have nice, clean clothing, and he had very strict standards. He only wanted it to be good, new, fresh, clean, and so you had to meet his standards, or you were going to end up in Gerla's pot of stew as a child. Yeah, scary, very scary. Anyway, so here are our phrasal verbs. We have grow up with, sneak around, end up, and come after. So here's the first one. I didn't understand the part, but I got the feeling of the story. Do you remember which part, Serena, it was that was not so clear? And if y'all would like me to read it again, absolutely no problem. Just let me know. It's really not a problem to read this again. 70%, I need to concentrate to understand clearly. I am still working on my baggage. On your baggage? Okay. Okay, Renee's already answering our phrasal verbs, so let's hop to it. Number one, Gerla would naughty children if they misbehaved. Kaluna's saying one, come after. The way to maintain children to be obedient all year long. Yeah, I think that would work for me. That would work pretty well. Would not want to end up in Gerla's stew. Hitoko's going with come after. Number one, Gerla would come after naughty children if they misbehaved. What about for number two? The Yule lads liked to houses at night to play tricks. What do? Pretty creepy, I have to say. I feel some jail time for them in the 21st century. They would not be able to get away with this then. Now. Okay, Kaluna's going with sneak around. And anybody else have other ones that they would like to offer? We have sneak around. Anyone agree? Oops, hold on. I need to plug in my battery here. We have low cable, low battery. Let me see. Hold on. All right, sneak around, sneak around. Lazar saying end up. Okay, so yeah, sneak around is correct. So the Yule lads liked to sneak around houses at night and to play tricks. And what about with number three? Children who ignored the warnings might in trouble with a Yule cat? What can you tell me? Children who ignored the warnings might in trouble with a Yule cat. End up, Kaluna sang. End up, Pitoko as well. Another guess. End up, exactly. Okay, so children who ignored the warnings might end up in trouble with the Yule cat. Many Icelanders then, okay, last but not least, grow up with these stories from a young age as part of their holiday traditions. So they grow up with these sorts of stories. So grow up with, exactly. Number 3 is end up, and the last one, 4, grow up with. Many Icelanders grow up with these stories from a young age as part of their holiday traditions. Okay, so we had another scary story, and now we're going to hop into a little poll question, and then we're going to head on over to Sweden. So not so far from Iceland, we will go and check out what's going on in Sweden. So let's see. Let me find number 6. And I'm okay where I am, so that's good. Yep. Okay. I hope you can see that. Okay, good. So here we go. Do you think modern parents should tell the Grilla, I guess, story exactly as it's told back in the old days? Do you think that this story is appropriate? A, yes, it keeps the tradition alive. B, no, it's too scary for children. C, only parts of the story. Or D, it doesn't matter. What do you think? What do you think? Should we keep these stories alive? I know in Germany we have some stories from a book called Strumpelpeter. And I wish that Carmen was here to let us know, Carmen, my German friend, to tell us about Strumpelpeter, because it's really brutal. And these are stories that kids today still read as well. Like there's a kid who sucks on his thumb and he won't stop sucking on his thumb. So his parents cut off his thumb. So, there's stories like this where there's like these really strong consequences. So let's see. So, all right, Karina's saying B, it's too scary. Hitoko's going with B, way too scary for children. For me, I don't know. I'm not really sure, because some of these stories are stories that they get just told and it's part of the culture, and it's different when you're in that culture. I don't know. So Kalina says A, it's already part of the place's story to be told for future generations. Yeah, Lorena too. Yeah, I think I'm kind of an A zone, actually. It keeps the tradition alive, even if it's crazy and as a foreigner, one can't really understand it. I sort of see, yeah, somehow, I don't know. Okay. Juan Carlos is going with A as well. Serena's got an A. Okay. So if you want to continue answering, you're absolutely more than welcome to do so. We're going to head on to, am I telling anything here? To Sweden. But before that, hold on. I think that I already had that here as a question. Aha. Yes, we've already had it. So we're going to go hop right into our vocabulary. We have a lot of words again. And this, I like this story. I think this is so funny. Somehow. No, sorry, B. Okay, too scary. Children love horror stories at some ages. Somehow, right? And maybe back when they didn't have TV, it probably was even more effective. All right, moving on to vocabulary. We're heading on to Sweden. Moving on to this, I am going to hop over to here and let's see if that's okay. Ooh, nope, I'm cutting into the picture here. Let me see if I have any other options. I do not. So I'm going to make myself much smaller. Okay, that's fine, so that you can see that properly. We have number 1, we have roots. Number 2, solstice. 3, fertility. 4, chariot. 5, to ward off. 6, prosperous. 7, caroling, and 8, arson. So a lot of vocabulary words. I hope that once we put them into context, it will be better. And they read horror books at school, right? I was grown up with this kind of stories, and I don't have any trauma, right? Yeah, I think that we do. We grow up with these kinds of stories. There's something in the human psyche that kind of gravitates to things that can't be explained, that are mysterious and slightly scary. I have no idea. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know if this is right or wrong or what that means. But yeah, I think that the interest is definitely there for humans in general. All right. So our definitions are as follows. A vehicle pulled by an animal. B, singing Christmas songs at people's houses. C, to keep away or protect. D, the beginning or origin of something. E, setting fire on purpose. F, being able to grow or have children. To grow or have children. Being, it's like grow children. So being able to grow something, okay? And G, successful or lucky. And H, the shortest or longest day of the year. I agree with, so modern parents think it's too scary, but modern children see worse things. Yes, I think so too. I agree with you as well. All right, so let's see. Which one works best with number 1 with roots? What can you tell me with roots? Number 1, roots. Lorena's going with D. Who agrees with Lorena? Okay, so Kaluna and Gracie all agree with Lorena. Roots. Number 1 is D. We'll go through these kind of quickly if it feels like that's fine. So the beginning or origin of something, the roots of something, the origin of something. You think of a tree, it has roots. That's the beginning of the tree. Number 2, solstice. What can you tell me with number 2? Solstice. Solstice. Okay, everyone's coming in with 2 is H. All right, cool, exactly. So yeah, Serena, 1 was D, 2 is H. Kaluna, you are correct as well. Solstice is H, the shortest or the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. The Swedish celebrate that. They have the midsummer parties and everything. So yeah, lovely occasion, the longest day of the year. And what about with number 3, fertility? Number 3, fertility. What can you tell me there? Exactly. 1 is D, 2 is H, 3, Kaluna's going with F, Lorena's going with F, Renate and Gracie, all saying F, Hitoko as well. Absolutely. So 3, fertility is F, to be able to grow something or have children. Exactly. So next one, 4, chariot. Chariot. Which one goes best with number 4, chariot? Exactly. So Kaluna and Lorena, Renate and Gracie are all saying 4 is A chariot is a vehicle pulled by animals. And I looked this up because I was like, what's the difference between a chariot and a wagon? And a wagon, the best example I can think of is that you sit in a wagon, and in a chariot, you stand. I always think of gladiators or the Roman Empire having chariot races at the circus, I think it's called. So yeah, so that's what a chariot, a wagon, you sit, chariot, you stand, typically. So we are on number 1 was D, 2 is H, 3 is F, 4 is A. What about number 5, folks? What is to ward off something? To ward off something. To ward off. What can you tell me? Renete's going with C. Kaluna and Lorena as well. Okay. All All right, so then, yeah, let's do C. Exactly. C is correct. To ward off is C, which is to keep away or to protect, to ward off bad spirits, to ward off something negative, to keep something away from you. Number 6, prosperous. Prosperous. I feel like we had that earlier. We had prosperity. So now we have the noun, prosperous. This one should be easy. All right, exactly. So 6 is G. Prosperous is successful or lucky. And last but not least, number 8, arson. What can you tell me about arson? Number 8, arson. Oh, sorry, 7. Excuse me, 7, caroling. Excuse me. So Lorena's saying B, Kaluna's saying B, and that is correct. Caroling B, singing Christmas songs at people's houses. Do people do that in your country? Do people go caroling and sing songs? Have you ever done that? I think that people, and I've never seen it happen in Germany. I'm actually going on Friday night to a concert where everyone is going to sing songs together. So it's kind of like caroling in a studio or singing songs, but caroling is typically going from door to door and singing Christmas songs. But I've never done it. I think it could be a really nice event. And then last but not least, arson. Thank you folks for keeping me on track. You're saying that it is E, and that is setting fire on purpose. All right. So here we go. We're headed to Sweden, and here is our story. So the Yule goat is a Scandinavian symbol dating back to pre-Christian winter solstice celebrations. Originally, it represented fertility, protection, and the spirit of the harvest, linked to Thor's goat-driven chariot in Norse mythology. In folk tradition, small straw goats were made as decorations or gifts, sometimes believed to ward off evil spirits and ensure a prosperous new year. In some regions, young men dressed as goats and would go door to door performing and demanding treats, a precursor to modern Christmas caroling. With the arrival, hey Renata darling, with the arrival of Christianity, the Yule goat merged with Christmas customs, sometimes becoming a helper of St. Nicholas delivering gifts. Today, giant straw goats like Sweden's Gelvegoat, I have no idea, celebrate this ancient symbol combining folkloric protection, seasonal fertility, and festive cheer, while people often try to set them on fire as a mischievous tradition. All right, so how much of this did you understand? Please let me know. Renata, I know you just joined. We will start at the beginning in a minute. Let's just comb through this text a little bit. Please give me percentages of understanding. Similar to trick or treat on Halloween. Yeah, I think so too, somehow. The difference is you have to sing Christmas songs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a good way of comparing that. So percentage of understanding, tell me what you, 85%. I'm goat in the Chinese horoscope. Okay. Any other percentages you can offer me with this story? How much did you understand? What did you understand? Let me know. What can you tell me? How much and what? 70%. Okay, cool. Cool. We'll go through the story a bit. 70 as well from Karina. Again, this is a bit of a long one, several names and things like that in it. But yeah, I kind of like the story. And you're going to think I'm weird when I tell you why. All right, so I have 85, I have a 70, and another 70%. So let's go through it. We have the Yule goat, which predates Christianity. This is something that during the time when they believed in Thor and all the other Norse mythology, this little goat, here, I'll show you a picture actually. And then when you see this goat, you might know, because you see this all the time in Swedish stuff somehow. I always think of it as like red, lacquered. Okay, everyone's giving me a 70%. Okay, let's go through it. It's a really bad picture. I hope you will be able to see it nonetheless. So that's our picture of this goat, a big, huge goat. But in olden days, it was tiny, and they would use this to ward off bad spirits. And then at some point in the 60s, I think like in 1966, they started creating this big one that I just showed you. And I'm sorry, I'm in the Yule Cat one now here. And so this one town in Sweden has this extremely large goat, but for some reason, this thing has been burnt down 35 times. So yeah, we'll get to that in a minute because I have a little article I want to read to you. But yeah, so this is our goat. And this is now something really sort of infamous in this town of Gävle, or I have no idea how to pronounce it. Huge, huge. And you can see in the background with the yellow there, those are the buildings. So that shows you how huge this goat is. And it's up there to ward off bad spirits. Somehow it is not able to defend itself, but okay. I don't know. Let's go through again. We'll read the story again, and then I want to read you a news article from 2021 about this goat from CNN Travel. So the Yule goat, so that goat, that straw goat that I just showed you, is a Scandinavian symbol. Maybe you have seen it in things. Feel like IKEA always has some sort of red goat of some sort. I didn't realize it was a goat, but I guess it's a goat. Dating back pre-Christian winter solstice celebrations. Originally, it was represented fertility, protection, and the spirit of the harvest. It's linked to Thor's goat-driven Norse mythology. In folk tradition, so small goats, some smaller ones, were made as decorations or gifts, sometimes believed to protect people, again, to ward off evil spirits and ensure a nice, prosperous new year. In some regions, some of the men went around dressed as goats and went door to door, performing and demanding treats as a precursor to modern Christian caroling. With the arrival of Christianity, the Yule goat merged with Christian customs. So you had this Norse tradition like we had before with one of our stories yesterday, and it got blended into Christianity and became a helper of Saint Nicholas, delivering presents. And today in this one city, in the Gävle goat, they build a huge goat. I've omitted a part of the live stream, but I'm already here again. Oh, did that happen on purpose or did you get kicked out? What happened, Natalia? I hope you're okay. I hope you didn't get kicked out, Natalia. And welcome back. And I will read the story. We're reading the story now again, too. Let me know if you want to know it again. But we'll read also an article. So that will also be something. Today, this giant straw goat is created, the one that I showed you, Natalia, in case you didn't see it. In this city in Sweden, the locals construct this gigantic straw goat. These are buildings, just to give you an idea of how huge this is. You were occupied with work. Okay, no stress. So this just gives you an idea of how huge this thing is. And the local townspeople, they have this thing, or we don't really know, but people, I could not comment for a while. Now it's working. I don't know. Maybe because I showed a picture. I don't know. Strange. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. I don't know. So maybe, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube is like they censor you for weird things. So maybe that was it. But the local people, they have a lot of fun trying to burn this goat down. So here is an article from 2021 about the people being successful with burning this goat down. And this is the strangest thing. And I think this is kind of funny. I don't know why. So here we go. A giant Yule goat. Again, we said Yule is stuff with Christmas, with winter solstice, in the Swedish town of Gavle, 200 miles northwest of Stockholm, was set ablaze on December 17th for the first time in 5 years, reviving a long-running tradition of locals illegally attempting to torch it and authorities scrambling to stop them. Police said they had arrested a man in his 40s who witnesses claimed had been acting suspiciously before the blaze in the early hours of the day. The Gavle Yule goat, or Julbocken in Swedish, is a 42-foot high statue. So 42 foot high, have no idea what that is in meters, made of wood and straw and erected every year before Christmas, has become famous nationwide since one was first installed in the town square in 1966 as a marketing ploy. So this town decided, let's build a really big Yule goat, and let's have people come and see it. It was burned down on New Year's Eve that year. So let's see, hold on, moving on. So small Yule goats, like we said, made of straw, are traditionally placed around Swedish homes during the festive season. The origin has been traced back to ancient pagan festivals. The Gavle Yule goat, which features in the Guinness Book of World Records, is not famed for its size, but for the often elaborate schemes dreamed up to destroy it. So they build this huge straw and wooden goat, and then people try to come up with really creative ways of how to destroy it. I think that's so funny. Authorities over the years have hired guards and deployed around-the-clock video surveillance and vast quantities of flame retardant in order to protect the statue, because they build it because they want people to come. Yeah, but it has been torched or otherwise destroyed at least 35 times. Two assailants, one dressed as Santa Claus and the other as a gingerbread man, set it on fire with bows and burning arrows in 2005. The culprits were never caught. The Yule goat has been run over by cars, set ablaze by fireworks, and simply smashed with clubs. The webcam has been hacked, and the local tourism administration says there was once a botched plan to kidnap it using a helicopter. British bookies have even offered betting on the likelihood of it surviving the festive season. So last sentence here, British bookies, bookies are people who bet on different things. And this thing going down has become such a popular sort of thing that even the bookies in the UK are betting to see if this goat is going to survive the year or not. So I find this hilarious. I don't know why, but I just think it's so funny that, this thing is like, it's more to like kill it than it is to kind of like honor it. I somehow find it funny. Maybe that's weird. I don't know. But it kind of got me thinking that we have these things, new lottery sabotaging the goat. Exactly. I think it's so hilarious. So I have 5 trivia questions based on different things that can bring us luck. So for the Swedish, for some of the people who lived, who followed the Norse mythology, having one of these little goats in their home brought them luck. And it kind of got me thinking, like, what other things can bring us luck? What can we learn from them? So we'll move into a couple of trivia questions now. Let me see what I've got here. We are on slide number 8. Here we go. And I need to hop over to here. And did everybody understand that story? If there was something you didn't understand, please, please, please let me know. Again, I will send you all of this information if you want. You just need to send me a DM. I need to figure out how to turn this information into a PDF because Instagram will only allow me to send small chunks of stuff. But I thought that was funny. Okay, so where does the tradition of hanging horseshoes for luck come from? So Ranit is saying D, which is North America. We have C, China. We have B, medieval Europe, and A, ancient Greece. Any other guesses here? What can you tell me? Where does the tradition of hanging horseshoes for luck come from? Anybody else want to take a guess? Serena's going with D. Kaluna's going with D. All right. So everyone's saying North America. So actually, so it comes from medieval Europe. I have no idea, maybe D, maybe B. Okay, so for those of you A or D, for those of you who guessed B, you are actually correct. Medieval Europe. Iron was believed to ward off evil spirits, and the U shape of the horseshoe was to capture the luck, so the luck could not leave. Blacksmiths were also considered lucky. Hello to you in Afghanistan. This is your first time here. Welcome. Welcome to our community. I hope to see you here more often. Layla. So B, exactly. I was correct. We have them everywhere. Exactly. I didn't know until recently that a horseshoe is supposed to be the U and not this. I always would hang it like that and not like this. But this, you keep the luck inside, right? Kaluna, you're so sweet. All right, moving on to the second question about lucky things. Let's see what we've got. Number 9. Okay, so in my country, all farmers believe in this. Okay, I think in many countries, right? People believe in horseshoes and that they bring luck. So it's something with the iron. It's something about having the blacksmith work on it, maybe. All right, so number 2. Why is lucky bamboo considered a symbol of luck? Is it A, it grows very quickly? B, it represents strength, growth, and prosperity. C, it is rare and hard to find. And D, it blooms only at New Year. What do you think? And for me, I'm going to accept two answers here at least because, yeah, it kind of feels like that's also true. All right, so let's see. Renata's going with B. Kaluna's going with B. Lorena's going with B. Natalia's going with B. Renee's going with B. Exactly. Okay, so B, it represents strength, growth, and prosperity. But I would guess also kind of A, right? I mean, it does grow quickly. So that is kind of nice if you need this material and it grows fast. But I thought this was kind of fun. I looked up a little bit of additional information. So when you have lucky bamboo, the little, maybe everybody knows that, I hope. Just the little ones you can leave in a glass and they have the roots at the bottom. But if you have 2 of those, that means love. Don't ever plant it around the house. Really? Oh, you mean bamboo? Yes, it depends on the bamboo, right? For sure. Otherwise, you're going to have a jungle, even more of a jungle, Renata. So 2 stalks, 2 little lucky bamboo stalks, you would have, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You would have love. 3 is happiness. 5 is health. 8 is wealth. And 9 is good fortune. So if you have 2, it's love. 3, happiness. 5, health. 8, wealth. And 9, good fortune. So if you want to buy some lucky bamboo for the new year, now you know the numbers you need to buy. I had it and cut it. Yes. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. We're heading to Germany and to Austria and talking about luck. And let's see. Oops. Sorry. I'm a bamboo billionaire. Thank you very much. We are all girls in Afghanistan learning from you because schools are closed in Afghanistan. Darling, I hope you come here every single week and learn. I'll teach you whatever you need to know. All right, moving on to number 10. Let's see. All right, number 10. So let's see. Marzipan pigs are lucky New Year's gift in Germany and Austria. What is marzipan? Is it a type of candy made from almonds and sugar? Is it a small wooden pig? It's a chocolate-covered pig-shaped cookie or a type of bread. What can you tell me? What do you think? Yes, come and learn with us. Bring your friends. So Karina says B, a small wooden pig. Renit says D, a type of bread. Lorena says A. Kalina's going with B. A, love marzipan. Exactly. So marzipan is a sweet, exactly, Serena. It's a candy made from almonds and sugar, and people either love it or hate it. Renata loves it, and it can be so yummy. Yes, it is. And so really in Germany, you will find everywhere around the new year, you'll see that people have these little tiny marzipan. It's kind of like, it's very like a dough. So you can mold it into different shapes, the marzipan, because you have the almonds that's grounded almonds. So it becomes like a flour, sugar and water, and then you mix it together and they shape it into a little pig, put it in plastic, and they give it to friends and to neighbors and loved ones as good luck. All right. My father had one in the door. Okay, had a little marzipan pig. Okay. So pigs were symbols of prosperity and abundance in Germany. So giving a small marzipan and New Year meant bringing wealth and good luck. And in fact, in German, if somebody says, "Ich habe Schwein gehabt," which means I had pig, I got lucky with pig, meaning I got lucky. So if somebody says, "Ich habe Schwein gehabt," it means that I was lucky. In English, we would never say that. But yeah, in German, they do. Pigs are lucky in Germany. They're not lucky enough to not get eaten, but yeah, somehow they're lucky. We have marzipan as well. Yes, in Italy. Okay. Do you like it, Alessio? Do you like marzipan? So number 11, moving on to another one. So, oops, open. Let's see. In China, pigs mean prosperity. Okay, so that didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, so in Germany, what about in Poland? In Germany, pigs are lucky, like a ladybug or so. In my region, too, in the northern part where they speak German. Yes, in Südtirol. All right. I love it, but my husband doesn't. Right. It's very much, I think it's one of those things that is very much like, people either love it or hate it. English say break a leg for good luck. Yes, break a leg. Exactly. But in this case, this is more like I got lucky. We'd say I got lucky. Ich habe Schwein gehabt. Like I got lucky with something. All right. So why were rabbits' feet believed to bring luck? A, rabbits were fast and clever. B, rabbits were considered fertile and lucky. C, they were rare and expensive. Or D, they were used in cooking. So why? I remember being in the 80s where a lot of people had a rabbit's foot on a keychain. Today, that feels like no one would do that. But back in the 80s, it was very common for someone to have a rabbit's foot on a keychain. Nobody thought twice about it. But yeah. Okay, so Renata's going with B, Gracie's going with B, Natalia's going with A or B, Alessio's got a B for me. And the answer is actually B. Rabbits were considered fertile and lucky. So they were lucky animals. Carrying a rabbit's foot charm was believed to bring good luck. This is the last one that I've got for us with our little trivia about luck. Let's see. All right, we have number 12. Okay. And let's see. It's in the Stollen. Yeah, marzipan is in the Stollen. Love that. I love Stollen. I need to find a good Stollen. Today's echo groups would throw paint at your rabbit's foot. I had one as well. Yeah, if you lived in the 80s, you probably had a rabbit foot or you knew someone who did. For sure, for sure. Okay. So let's see. We have four-leaf clovers were considered lucky in which culture? So A, Chinese, B, Irish, C, Egyptian, and D, Scandinavian. Which one do you think? I used to eat it, but now I don't. I guess that's rabbit. I heard something really interesting about rabbit, that like if you eat rabbit, if you only eat rabbit, it can kill you. This is what I heard. I don't know. Correct me, please, if I'm wrong. But something about if you only eat rabbit, there's something the way that that you digest it, that it's really, really difficult to digest, and it causes more time to digest or something like that, or there's some sort of chemical. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay, I have a lot of people saying B's, B, 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 and Alessio is saying in Italy. Maybe A, I've seen a movie about it. A is Chinese. All right, all right. Okay, some B's. So the answer is supposed to be B, but definitely in the States and also in England, having four-leaf clovers were considered lucky in the culture. What about in your culture? Are four-leaf clovers something for good luck? Maybe you can tell me something that is in your country considered lucky. So four-leaf clovers originate from Irish folklore. Clovers were considered magical. Hello to you, Terry. I think that's you, Terry, right? Rare four-leaf variety represents faith, hope, love, and luck, and was used to protect against evil. Yeah, Terry, if that is you, then please tell me, because we had a story at the beginning today about in Ukraine, how there's spider webs that are put on the tree because of a mom who could not afford to put pretty things on her tree. She decorated it with nuts and with fruits. And then in the morning, the spiders had created these beautiful spider webs that were golden and silver. Is that true? So in Argentina too, yes, but it's rare. I remember as a kid sitting in clover patches and looking through every single clover, trying to find a four-leaf clover. I'm not that Terry. I'm not that very Terry. Oh, you're not that Terry. Okay, sorry. What is your name? You're Terry, but you're not that Terry. Okay, sorry. So let's see. So yeah, I remember doing that, like sitting for hours trying to find. There are red clovers. Ooh, I don't know red clover. And I love that. Can you imagine kids today sitting and trying to find four-leaf clovers? I mean, yeah. No, somehow, sadly. All right, so we're heading on to our last story for today. We hang an ornament representing a chimney cleaner guy dressed in black carrying a ladder. That's for good luck. And do you have that for New Year's? Because we have that here as well in Germany. Pigs and chimney sweeps. The guy who does that is called a chimney sweep. And in Germany, they come here. I love it. Once a year, we have a chimney sweep come to our home to check the chimneys. And they dress like in old-fashioned clothing. They have a black hat. And if you touch them, then it's lucky. If the next time they come, I have to do a little video if he will let me. He's, yeah, sweet, but maybe he doesn't want that. Chimney sweep is the guy who is lucky. Like in Mary Poppins, exactly. He's a chimney sweep. My daughter has, I will send a photo. Oh, cool, Gracie, awesome. In Serbia too. All right, very cool. All right, I'm going to show you a picture. Yeah, and you need to tell me, please. I'm gonna make myself very small. Get rid of this. And move, and I want you to tell me what on earth you think this was. Okay, what is this thing? What's going on? Yeah, and I'm going to hop over to here. And that cat waves his hand like hello. Yes, my little good luck thing. All right, so let's see. So what on earth is this? If I see a rooster, that's a lucky day. Okay, cool. So roosters are lucky in Egypt. Interesting. So what can you tell me about this? Do you have any idea where this comes from? What it is? What's going on? What's its deal? How on earth does it relate to Christmas? So give it a guess. Let's try. So Gracie's saying a lion made of a trunk of a tree. Okay. So no idea. All right. It's me. Catalonia, Raphael. Absolutely. You've got it. So what do you know about this? It's called Tio de Nadal. And I'm totally messing this up. The beginning of Pinocchio's sculpting. So yeah, baby. This is what Pinocchio would look like if I carved him. First of all, I thought it was Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. That's true. Very, very true. That's so funny. Any other ideas? Otherwise, we will hop into some vocabulary, and then I have a little story to explain what on earth is going on here. I think Raphael knows, but yeah, so we are heading to Catalonia. But any other guesses? Otherwise, we will go into some vocabulary and work our way through this interesting story. I think you're going to get a kick out of it. It's funny. Okay, so let me throw up our first vocabulary, our set of vocabulary words, excuse me, and let's see what we've got. All right, so we need slide number 14. I need to scroll on down here. Oops. Uh-oh. Where are our vocab? Yikes. Okay. Our vocabulary, they are missing. Let me just take a look really quickly and see if I did not mess up. Hold on, because somehow it might have gotten deleted. Okay, so we're going to go through the vocabulary words together. I will pull up the picture again of our little friend here and let you see him while we do this. Smiley lying, that's cute. That's so cute. Reminds me of the Buca of Noel. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. Okay, well, you've all had really interesting and fun guesses. Here are a couple vocabulary words. We have, oops, hold on. Whimsical. Whimsical. So whimsical is something that is funny, playful, or unusual in an imaginative way. Something that's kind of cute in a strange way. I'm trying to think of something that is whimsical. It's wooden artwork. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Yuki, hang in there. The story gets better. Trust me. So yeah, so this is whimsical. This is kind of like cute and charming in a funny way. Like, what on earth, huh? You know, something that is whimsical is like that. I cannot think of any other examples at the moment. Maybe someone has it. Whimsical sounds more British. It's a nice word for something that is creative and clever and funny and interesting. But we do use it in American English. It is a way to describe that. How do you write it? Sorry, thank you very much for asking. Sorry about that. I seem to not have made the slide last night. In between decorating the tree and eating sushi, somehow this slide got lost. It's a French cake. It does. Oh, yours is a French cake. Okay. Whimsical. I'm going to ask the bot really quickly for some other examples of whimsical because it's a nice word. And let me put this up on the screen for those of you who are watching later on, perhaps. What on earth? Okay, whimsical stuff. Let's see what the bot has to tell us. Yeah. So, and they're saying like a whimsical idea would be a cafe where the menu changes based on the weather 3 times a day. Yeah, I don't know. That's getting too creative. Sorry about that. So things that are just sort of once you hear the story, I think you'll kind of get a feel for what whimsical means. Here's our next vocab word, to nourish. I think that some of you know this word. So if you know the word to nourish, then, and I will write it again on the comments, to post it on the comments here and up on the screen. If you know what it means, what does to nourish mean? I'll put a little work on your desk right now. What does nourish mean? To nourish. What does that mean? To nourish, exactly. To nourish. What does that mean? What's an easy way of saying that? To nourish. To nourish the skin. Okay, so if you put lotion on it, to nurture. So nurture is to care, to fertilize. Okay, so to nourish is more to feed something, to take care of something. Exactly. It's to more nurture. If you take care of something, that's more nurture somebody, provide food. Exactly. You nourish someone. Exactly. It's more related to food and care. Exactly. To nourish. Supply with nutrients, water, vitamins, provide food, to take care of somebody. Exactly. To water and take care of a flower, for example. Exactly. Okay, cool. Next word, blend. What about blend? I'll pop it up on our screen. Blend. So we're doing this sort of the old school way because I forgot to make a slide, I think, for this one. So blend. What can you tell me is a good definition for blend? To mix, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. To mix into something, to blend. So we're supposed to blend in our makeup so it doesn't like have like a ring around our head. I'm bad at makeup, so I always kind of have like a ring. I don't blend well, but you should blend well. To combine, also to maybe adapt. Yeah, exactly. Blend is a mixing of ingredients. Right now, because I didn't create a slide, I would love to turn blue and blend in with this wall. All right, cool. Last vocab word, well-fed. Well-fed. What can you tell me with well-fed? And I'll write it here. Well-fed. Any definitions that you got for me? Well-fed. Had enough food. Exactly. Okay, so a well-fed chat, a well-fed chat. Oh my gosh, a well-fed child is probably a little rounder than usual. You're able to eat, so you probably have eaten quite a lot. Maybe you have good food. Well-fed is like rich, could be. To have a rich diet, eating good nutrition. Exactly. So it can be the amount and it can be the type of food. Perfect. Okay. This story is cuckoo. You are all going to find this kind of funny, I think. All right, here we go. Here's our story. We are traveling to Spain. And here we go. Long ago in Catalonia, Spain, families would bring a log into their homes during winter, symbolizing warmth, life, and fertility for the household. Over time, the log became a whimsical character. Children would draw a face on it, give it a little red hat, and nourish it each night with nuts, fruit, and treats, covering it with a little blanket to keep it warm. On Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, the family would gather and strike the log with sticks while singing traditional songs. And here's the fun part. The log would then poop out candies and small gifts. According to folklore, the log only gave gifts if it had been well fed and cared for, teaching children about responsibility and care. The Tio de Nadal blends pre-Christian winter rituals which honored nature and the harvest with Christmas celebrations, making it a unique Catalan tradition that combines fun, community, and the idea that good actions bring rewards. So how much of this story did you understand? And what did you understand about the story? So the log is hit with a stick to make it give gifts while a song is sung. Exactly. Are you from Catalan, Rafael? Let me know. I'm so curious. So a log, super question, Serena. So earlier someone said that it looked like the trunk of a tree. So the trunk of a tree is like the whole thing, like the big long part. If you take a trunk and you cut it into smaller parts, then it turns into a log. Usually you put logs in a fire. You cannot put a trunk of a tree into a fireplace. So yeah, because that's not logical. So you cut a trunk into smaller parts, it becomes a log, and yes. Oh, cool. Okay, Rafael, you're from Catalonia. All right, so pooped out candy is like, is that like expensive coffees? I think so. I think you're right. So yes, it's like a piñata. I had the same thought, right? It sort of feels like a piñata in a way. We have to go to Catalonia and get a trunk, which is to give us a gift. Yeah, you have to get a log, feed it, and then hit it with a stick. So can you tell us, Rafael, anything more about this tradition? I'm so curious to hear what you have to say. I just think this is so funny. I mean, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that it's just like, yeah, we live in a very colorful world. Yes. So yeah, so how much of the story did you understand? What can you tell me about it? And we will read the story again. Rafael, if you have anything to add, would be very grateful to hear what you have to say. It's always nice when we have someone who is connected to the story, to the tradition, to whatever it is. Otherwise, I will read the story for a second time, and we will continue on to our last exercise for today. Percentage points of what you understood. Yeah, it's usually for children. Yes, right. That's what I understood. But why do we hit it with a stick? Why do you hit it with a stick? What is that? I mean, I think that makes it poop, but yeah, but why? So, okay, 90% is like a piñata. I think so too. With a piñata, I get it because you want the candy to come out, but I think the log is like you just feed it, and I don't know. We need a video. We need a good video here. So 80%, okay. Thank you, Serena, for the feedback. Kaluna 80, Natalia 80. Any other feedback here with how much you understood? Otherwise, I will read it once more just so that we have it. Yeah. red again. And let's see. So 80%. Okay, cool. So, and just to talk about it really quickly, they bring a log inside the home. The children feed this whimsical character every single night, and then you beat. At some point, you beat on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. You beat the log, and it poops out food or candy or something. Beat the exactly, Renata. So 70%. Okay, let's read the story and then we'll continue on. So long ago in Catalonia, Spain, families would bring a log into their homes during winter, symbolizing warmth, life, and fertility for the household. I totally get that. That all makes sense. Over time, the log became a whimsical character. Children would draw a face on it, give it a little red hat, and nourish it each night with nuts, fruits, and treats, covering it with a blanket to keep it warm. On Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, the family would gather and strike the log with sticks while singing traditional songs. The log would then poop out candies and small gifts. According to folklore, the log only gave gifts if it had been well fed and cared for, teaching children about responsibility and care. The Tio de Nadal, my apologies for my Spanish, blends pre-Christian winter rituals which honored nature and harvest with Christian Christmas celebrations, making it a unique Catalan tradition that combines fun, community, and the idea that good actions brings rewards. I do have to say that this is the only story so far we've really had where like you're teaching someone something good in kind of a nice way, but then you beat the log. I don't know. Will it work with our trunks or need only a Catalonian one? I don't know. I'm not sure. Is the log alive like Pinocchio? I have no idea. Okay, thank you, Raphael. What are you saying? It is a magical and pagan Catalan tradition of hiding small gifts and sweets under a blanket, symbolizing abundance in nature, awakening in winter, as a way of asking for good harvest and family. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. The story is the origin of the cake. Okay. The Buka cake. So Buka, I think we have that word in German too. I want to say that's birch. Let me look it up and see. A Buka tree in English. Let's see. In the 19th century, France chefs transformed the Yule log into a cake. I want to say I've seen a Yule log cake at some point, but didn't really understand it. So it's a beech tree in English. I'll write it here. A Buka, which we have in German, is a beech tree in English. As I understand, they have taken cake, about a log a year, and after they hit the stick, it gets candy. Yeah, so they beat it, they feed the cake, they feed the log with different things throughout the holiday season. And then on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, they hit it with sticks and it offers candy and little toys. In Italian is tronchetto. Di Natale is the name of the cake. And Lorena, is that a cake that everyone eats, like the Pantona? I think it's called the Pantona. Alessio, you sent me one year, a Pantona. I think it's called that. I don't know. Where you have the powdered sugar. Yes. So piñata. It's like a piñata. I think it feels very much like it goes into the realm of a piñata. Raphael, thank you so very much for sharing that extra information. It's always so nice when we have this really wonderful international community that we can learn from each other. I love that. Okay, so that is pretty much all I've got. Pentona. Okay, hold on. Let me find the very famous Italian. Yes. Pentona or Pentona. The log returns that Eaton cakes back. I'm not sure. I've never heard of that cake. I've seen it before. Let me see if I can find that cake, because I know I've seen it before, and it must be some sort of tradition, even in the States as well. Thank you. Aha. Hold on. Pandora. Pentona. Hold on. Okay, let's look at both of these cakes really quickly. All right. So hold on. We're looking at the Yule log cake. Christmas bread. Yes. Or Pentona. Something like that. So let me find pictures of the Yule log cake. Yes, this is what I was thinking. So you have the Yule log cake, and in German too, they have something called the Baumkuchen. That's so good, the tree cake. This must be something that goes through every culture. Yes, I will, absolutely. So this is what I have here. Look, that one looks pretty. Let's go with that. I hope I don't get sued for sharing people's photos, but here we go. So this is the Yule log cake. That's the cake I think that Lorena's talking about, the French cake, where it really kind of looks like a log, like it has the rings around it. And let me look at the Italian cake that is very popular in Italy. At least that's what I hear. Let me see if I can, so let me find that. Let me see. Yes, Pandora. Yes. Hold on. This is this one where they put the powdered sugar on top of it in the bag and shake it up so that you have it. I like it because you can buy it. You don't have to make it. I'm just lazy though. So yeah, that's why. All right, we figured it out. So Pandora is the Italian one. We have the Yule log cake is the French one. And yeah, woof. Anyway, thank you folks so very much for hanging out with me for an hour and 55 minutes. Love having you here. Thank you so much. It was been such a fun lesson. I love it when everyone shares different information. If you don't already follow my account and you've made it this far, you might as well follow. So English with Jen, 1, 2, 3. I will leave some homework for you in the comments. So in the next couple of days, go ahead and come back and watch a little bit if you like and participate in the homework. If you don't mind, if I could get you to please like this video, hype it. I don't even know what that means. I just keep hearing on the YouTube videos that I watch that hyping is very important to get your video out there. And so yeah, so if you could please do that, hype, like, subscribe if you don't already, that would be lovely. Thank you for being such an amazing community. I will see you next week. Remember, next week I will go live on Iwa with Christmas traditions. And if you have one that you would like to share, something, I don't know, Renata, I'm not sure. Do you see anything there? Like, can you scroll anywhere and see hype? Because you're allowed to like hype something every couple of days or so, or once a week or a couple times a week. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I know that like, if I look on YouTube, once this is saved at least, they have this hype feature. Let me go and I can show you real quick. But if you would like to join me next week on Iwa, then you're more than welcome. Send me please. Hey, Brad. Then send me please a DM on Instagram and we can talk about what you would like to say. If you want, I'm going to also meet with someone tomorrow. I will not out you. So if you want to chat beforehand, if you're a little nervous, no problem. We can chat for like 10 minutes so you feel a little bit more comfortable. I will do that on Iwa when we meet on Wednesday. I will have a normal lesson about Christmas traditions, probably a lot of stories like this, like where things came from. But let me see. So let me show you with this astrology one. We will join you. Thank you. Thank you. I think when you come down, oh, I don't see that. Aha. So when you see here, it has like, share, save, stop ads, thanks, clip, and then you see hype with a little star. So you have a little star down here that you can hype this if you like. I've noticed that several people have hyped things in the past, and it really helps for the algorithm to go, this is pretty groovy. So yeah, anyway, thank you for joining. I hope you had a wonderful time. I certainly have enjoyed every single minute of this 1 hour and 58 minutes and 49 seconds. So have a great day. See you. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. A really funny thing, and then we'll go, I swear. So I heard of this Irish lady who was in Germany, and she could not remember the word Auf Wiedersehen. So she would just say to people, our feet are the same. Our feet are the same. And it does kind of sound like that. Anyway, hugs to you too. Big virtual hugs to all of you. See you. Have a wonderful time. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Stay healthy. See you later. Bye.